Boys don't cry. You let your wife wear the pants. Pull up, be a man.
You're weak.
Does these words ring true to you? Are you familiar with the feelings of disconnection of not being allowed to be yourself? You are not alone, but your strength is not in your silence.
Sometimes the bravest thing a man can do is let himself be seen.
Welcome to Divergent Resilience, the podcast that smashes stereotypes and scatters glad ceilings.
This week on Divergent Resilience, we're talking about something powerful: men's mental health and the art of being seen. The invisible weight that men carry usually are the expectations of what society has put on them. Man up, don't cry, don't show weaknesses. But that's a high cost. That's a high cost for men, and it's a high cost for our world as a whole. Us as women, our children, the elderly. When our men are affected, we all are affected as a whole. Men become emotional and shut down. They don't know how to regulate it, so they shut down. They become isolated, and it puts a lot of strain on relationships, whether they're intimate relationships or family relationships or friendships or even employment ships. So I remember seeing someone struggling. He was struggling with domestic violence. And he was in the military, and he was told how weak he was and what, you letting a woman hit you, you letting a woman do this, you letting a woman do that. Well, let's be honest. That's what our society tells men. But at the same token, our society shuns men for that. You can't snatch on your woman. You can't beat your woman. So if she's hitting you and you've taken these vows, some women are very aggressive. And the best that you can give our men is to say, man up. So I wear purple for Men's Domestic Violence Awareness. So in honor of the men, I applaud you for your courage and want you to stand strong in your resilience. So let's talk about the need to be seen, because when men cry out, it took them a lot of courage to do so. So being visible demands validation. When someone says something to us, it doesn't matter if his wife is 3 foot tall and he's 6. If he says, she abuses me, we don't laugh at that. We accept it as it is what it is, because each and every last one of us have found ourselves in circumstances that we go, how'd I get there? So we don't get the right to put another person down. So when men are seen, they start to heal. We have to acknowledge what men are going through. Men's depression comes out as anger. So sometimes resilience looks like taking 10 quiet minutes under a hot shower. Just you, the steam, and the weight of the day washing off the scent of frankincense or sandalwood in the air, reminding you that peace is still possible. That warmth, that steam, get grounded. This is time for renewal. So let's talk about some safe spaces. And safe spaces are those places that we can go that we know we feel safe, or people that we can go to. So explore where you could go. Gyms, barbershops, church groups, therapy, brotherhood circles. And make sure that they're healthy and not toxic. Some of these brotherhood spaces might be a bunch of men hanging out, bashing women, or, just if you're at the gym, staring at women. So, this is a time for healing, not a time for stuffing your emotions or redirecting it to something else. We want to distract negative emotions, but not with something else that isn't very positive. We need to pour back we need to pour back good into us. We need to pour back that healing. So we don't want to hang out at the barbershop when they're like, oh, all these women is right. These hoes ain't loyal. We don't want nothing like that. Because at the end of the day, if we keep doing that, women are doing it to men and men are doing it to women, it's a vicious cycle. And then men are walking around talking about there's no good women, and women are walking around talking about there's no good men. So we have to remove all toxic out of our lives in order to heal. And that might just mean to remove ourselves, because some of our friends are really good friends, but I can't share certain things with some of my friends that I know have maybe a negative, toxic feeling and a thought about it or belief about it. So find those places that you can go to, that you can heal, or those people that you can call support, so you know what support looks like. You want to make sure that these people listen to you, that they might touch you. Some of us might have the opposite sex and want to be able to talk to our significant other, and their touch is important. Or maybe it's just my bro hitting me on the back saying it'll be all right, or bring it in, bro. Hug each other, or I've been there. Or maybe it's just being in the presence, or maybe it's just shared silence. I remember someone who enjoyed being around me, just being in the presence. We didn't have to say anything. We could be upset with one another. They really just enjoyed the safety that I gave them, just being in the house. So next year we have a HERT workshop. That's HERT. That's our men's workshop. So I'll let you know when that is coming up for 2026. Our next one will be coming in the beginning of 2026, between January and March. So I'll let you know as soon as that comes up. For those of you who are knowing what the HERT workshop is about. So let's practice care, right? Men deserve self-care just like women, right? So some simple things that you can do, some rituals, some resilient rituals, some self-care practices, grounding breath. Sometimes we can't catch our breath, and just being able to breathe steady. Maybe box breathing, 4-2, 4-2. It means to breathe in the count of 4, hold it for the count of 2, let it go for the count of 4, and hold it again for the count of 2. And box breathing could be 4 by 4 by 4 by 4, 6 by 4 by 6 by 2, whatever numbers work for you. But I'm just going to do the 4 by 2. We would breathe in, breathe out. Sorry, that was totally wrong. Breathe in, Hold. Breathe out. Hold. All right. Cheated a little bit because when I'm doing the counts, a little bit different because I get extra counts in there for me. But y'all know I like to be authentic. Am I going to edit this? No. We are authentic with who we are. We are Divergent Resilience. So, so let me keep going because maybe a quiet walk is what practicing self-care looks like. Maybe a warm bath, maybe prayer, maybe writing one true thought before bed, maybe talking to our best friend. Healing isn't loud. This is something you want to say to yourself. It isn't loud. It's in the small, intentional moments. It's in the steam that hits your chest after a long day. That moment your mind finally exhales. If you're a man listening, your story matters. You are not invisible, ever. If one person doesn't listen to you, another person will. And if you love a man, create space for him to breathe, space for him to heal. So I invite you to reflect on one way that you'll practice seeing yourself this week. How do you want to see yourself? It is strong and courageous to stand up, to speak up, to acknowledge that your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors, they matter. So, until next time, keep rising differently because healing starts with the courage to be seen. This is Divergent Resilience, the collective voice. I'm TMarie, where we are shattering stereotypes and shattering the glass ceiling. Yeah. Until next week.